Hello again, and in this video, the quick starter guide number 2, we're going to look at lesson settings and the TutorPay plans. Now coming down to lesson settings here, if I actually just click on this as we're talking through it. Now here on this page we've created some dummy demonstration lessons for you, or service. So you add a new service for any lesson or type of lesson that you have, whether you're teaching maths or karate or trombone or whatever it is that you're teaching. This is the service that you add here. We've put some dummy demonstration ones in there just so you can have a working example when you first set up with TutorTube. You can delete these. To delete them you simply empty it and hit save. Capacity, duration, time of the length of the lesson, price is the lesson fee, and you can attach a description page to that. So when any student or parent views this registration sign up page, they can click through to your explanation page about your whatever it is lesson, in this case a classic guitar lesson. So we've got another one here, so you can add a new service in there and add whatever you want. So that's the services or the lesson types that you've got. For the sake of keeping this quick starter guide short, I won't talk you through each of these. You can simply just click through each of these and you'll see in a fairly straightforward way what each of them does. There's many settings that you can decide, you can define how your system should work, and it's entirely up to you. You're in control. You don't have to change any of these. It will work by default if you don't go through this, but it'll take you about 5 minutes or so simply to read through this. You don't need to change it. It'd be good to get an understanding of it. Just a quick idea, run through these working hours. You can define your own working hours. Say you're 9 to 5. If you define your working hours as 9 to 5, anything outside of that will not be billed for, so you can't put any lessons outside of that. You won't be able to schedule the lessons outside of that, and if someone tries it will refuse. Any exceptions is if you're on holiday, bank holidays. In here we've actually already put the bank holidays for the next 2 years or so, and you can add any exceptional working days when you are working, when you wouldn't normally otherwise, say for a Sunday if you suddenly decided to work. These ones are the holidays, so we've already put the bank holidays in down here on the second line. In tandem with this, we've already added the term dates for the next 2 years or so. This is for the standard UK school terms. You can edit them if you're in any different locations. Many different counties change slightly their term dates, but you've got about 2 years or so of example demonstration data. You can change it as you wish. Service providers, that's where if you had an employee or a member of staff, another tutor who works for you, you could add them in as an alternative service provider as part of your team. Add-ons, you can go through that yourself. There's a few different elements you can add on. Google Calendar, you can bring in and integrate with your own Google Calendar. If you use a Google Calendar to organize your lesson scheduled diary, that can be pulled in. You don't have to, it's simply an alternative option. So that's the lesson settings on the left here. Now let's look at the TutorPay plans. So within here we've got these demonstration TutorPay plans that we've already set up for you. You can simply delete these. You do not have to keep these in. We'd strongly recommend that you get rid of them. They're only here for you to get a grip, get a feel of the TutorTube, TutorPay system when you set up. Once you're happy that you know what you're doing, delete them. What I'd recommend you do is first set up your own in addition to these. Once you're happy with your own ones, then delete these. Now to delete them you can either click on the delete, which appears under each item, or you can simply click any given one and use the drop down and apply that. If you want to do all of them, you simply click checkbox at the top left and that will tick or untick all of them. So if you wanted to delete all of these ones, you'd simply tick them all, select, delete and apply. So now let's actually click through to one of these and I'll talk you quickly through the different elements within a TutorPay plan. So here in this demonstration TutorPay plan we've got a grade 1 piano lesson that's able to be subscribed to set up a payment subscription to. So we've got a name, we've got a bit of blurb, a quick explanation, or effectively a sales pitch saying register now. Subscription price text, that's going to appear on the register page. So if I just click across to the front end of this website, this is what the signing up student or parent would see. We see the name, the register now to pay, etc., and only £25 per scheduled. So that's where we're seeing this, and there's a sign up button there. These are these details here, only £25, register now, so you can see what those are for. When you set up a TutorPay plan, or a subscription plan, you are actually attaching certain content to it, so an access level, which you've already created, effectively the name of the group of content or web pages, whether it's videos, web page, audio files, documents, etc. You've got a name to that access level, and you attach that level to the payment plan, to the TutorPay plan. So here we've already got this access plan here attached to this TutorPay subscription. The way you can do that is simply drag and drop this down into the process. I won't do it now, it's already been done, but if you wanted to undo it, you simply remove this. Now once you've done that, so you've added an access plan or membership level, so the content level with its lesson fee price that's going to be attached to it, you've dropped it down into here. Once you've done that, you can state and define what's your payment period, what's the billing frequency. Do you want to be paid monthly, weekly, half-termly, termly, yearly? You can add as many different TutorPay plans as you want. So for all the different lessons, for all the different options, if you wanted some students to pay weekly, you can have them on a weekly, and you could have other people on the same level of skill, the same service that you're offering, paying monthly. So you can set up different payment plans, TutorPay plans, for potentially, if you wanted to, the exact same lesson or type of lesson, but some could be paying weekly, some monthly. It's entirely up to you. Or you could insist everyone pays on the same level, everyone pays half-termly, for example. Half-termly is probably the most popular one, but monthly and weekly also good as well. So if you wanted to be paid weekly, you could have that. You could actually define, I want to be paid every second week. So that's what these two options are here for. If you wanted to be paid every second month, you'd have that option. Now, moving on from the billing period definition there, an important thing to talk through is this little tick box here. Only take payment for scheduled booked lessons. If you untick this, you will get a fixed price, fixed interval subscription plan. Just like you'd sign up to, say, a newspaper a week from the Daily Telegraph or whatever newspaper it is, if you paid X amount per week or X amount per month as a fixed rate per month ongoing. No variation, fixed rate, steady. Same amount every week, every month. That's what would happen if you untick this. You simply set that price there. So currently this is set to be £47 per every second month. So every second month in this current setup, the student would be billed £47. If we wanted that to be every week, we'd be billing them £47 every week. So let's say actually we're going to bill them £7 every week. That's the setting we want there. If we tick this, we're saying only take payments for scheduled book lessons. That means if there are no lessons booked and scheduled, no payments will be taken. So let's just take a half-termly. Okay, so we're going to bill once per half-term. We're only taking payment for scheduled book lessons in this half-term period. If there are no lessons booked, that student will not pay at all. If there are 10 lessons booked in that same half-term, the student will pay for 10 lessons. 10 times the lesson price of £20, say, £200, they're going to get billed. So that's how this works. It's important that you understand this little checkbox here because it makes a massive difference to your TutorPay plan. It is entirely up to you whether you take fixed subscriptions or whether you use the only take payments for scheduled booked lessons options, using the appointments, using the lesson scheduler. The general gist of when you might want to use one or the other, if you're entirely face-to-face, usually it makes more sense to only charge for scheduled book lessons. Usually if you're not doing face-to-face lessons, if you're only doing online lessons, it may make more sense to have a fixed rate subscription for X pound per week per month. It is entirely up to you. If you use the fixed rate subscriptions, you may end up doing more refunds. If you use the only take payment for scheduled booked lesson process, you are far less likely to have to operate refunds. Now, one of the key benefits with TutorPay, you are entirely in control of your refunds. We don't decide who gets a refund if they want one. It's entirely up to you. If you think it would be unfair to give a refund, that's up to you. If you think it would be unfair to not give a refund, that's up to you. It's all entirely up to you. You decide. So you're in control. So that's the end of this quick start guide, giving you a quick overview of how to use the TutorTube and TutorPay system. In the further videos we'll dig deeper into how you can set this up. But again, if you've got any questions at all, simply scroll down and click Contact Tutor Support. We are here for any questions. We're constantly evolving, constantly improving the system, and constantly trying to simplify the process, because we are aware it by necessity has to be fairly complex, because we're dealing with a high feature benefit driven system. You're getting a lot done, albeit with minimal cost, but there is a lot there to do. So we know it's complex, but we're trying as hard as we can to simplify this for you, to get this as easy to use for you as possible. So if you've got any questions at all, you're helping yourself and you're helping us to simplify the process for the future. So please do click the Contact Tutor Support if you've got any questions at all. I'll speak to you in the next video.